This is how I practice a movable E guitar scale in 2 octaves, anywhere on the fretboard. I call it a movable E because the lowest place we can play it on the fretboard using the nut is an E scale. But let's move it up a little bit. We're actually going to play it in G. The first exercise I do is just up and down the scale in both octaves. But I also like to do the arpeggio in 2 or even 3 octaves immediately after each exercise. Here's a tip. If you go to do the arpeggio right after the exercise and it's really hard to do the arpeggio, then you were doing the exercise too fast. You're usually going to be able to do those scales faster than you could do the arpeggio, but the trick is to practice them slow. If you'd rather have tablature in front of you to follow along with, click the link below for a free download. The second exercise I like to do is up 2 steps and down a third. Let's talk about the shifting for this 2 octave scale. We're starting actually with a stretch. We've got notes on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th frets. I like to think of it conceptually as living from the 3rd to the 6th fret and then reaching for the 7th. Oh, there's our first shift. So the 7th is on the 4th fret, not the 3rd, so that's our opportunity to scoot that first finger up. And everything kind of lives from the 4th fret to the 7th fret until you get to the last 3 notes. And as you'll see is a common way to shift for me, I'm waiting until I get to the next string, and if the next string starts a fret up, I'll just scoot the first finger up, and now everything else kind of shifts itself. Scoot. On the way down, I'm doing the same thing with the pinky. So if I know I'm going to be down on the 7th fret and lower, I'll plant the pinky. Everything else kind of scoots itself. Now I need to just reach. And, you know, the lower octave of this scale, it's just a little awkward because I'm used to a fret for each finger unless I'm shifting somehow or unless somebody's helping out on a 3rd. On this one, they just have to stretch. The second exercise is going to be up 2 steps and down a 3rd. If that's uncomfortable for you, welcome to the club. I hate doing that. You gotta eat your vegetables sometimes, okay? You gotta eat your broccoli. I've put thought into what the best way to shift that weird exercise is. If I go up, and then if I'm on the 2nd finger, it makes sense. And when I practice it, the sense goes out the window. Just let your fingers figure out what way they like to do it. Nobody's happy playing this scale, and you just gotta get through it. And if you got it, you got it. Now, when you get to the 3rds on the 2nd octave, it's all well and good until you get here. You see how I preempted it? There are 2 ways to do the shifting on the last few notes of this octave. You could just take it as it comes. Oh no, first finger comes in to help, and that's your shift. Everything moves up from there. What I usually do is I end up barring it. It's probably a bad habit, but it's what I do. You see how I preempt it? For this other major 3rd, you can go, just let the other finger come in to help. It's not that hard. On the way down, you're going down 2 steps and up a 3rd. It's the opposite of the second exercise. Those 3rds on the way down are a little different. I preempt it. I throw the 3rd finger over there. Pinky helps. And then I bar it. Shift. Now you gotta do that thing. Good enough. third exercise is up a third and down 2 steps. Ah, I hate this scale so much. Got it. When you get past the part where you're reaching for those awkward notes and you just know you're in the clear and you're in the movable part of the scale and you're happy and it's behind you and the pain is over. The way down is going to be down a third and up 2 steps. Maybe we only have to do the arpeggio in 2 octaves, not 3. I don't know why I was doing that. And our last exercise, the fourth exercise, is up a third, down a step. Aren't you glad that's over? There are only 5 core major scale shapes across the whole guitar fretboard, so take your time, get this down as drudgery as it is, know it like the back of your hand before moving to the others, and take it slow. Then go back and make sure you have all 5 scale shapes down. We did C, B flat, A flat, F, and this was E. And when you can do all of them pretty fluently, join me for the next step, which is the exercises I use to sew them together, to move fluidly from one to the other, all the while knowing right where you are, which is how we'd like to play guitar, isn't it?